So we're going to open up the Dream Arc Bridge. What is the Dream Arc Bridge? The Aboriginals in their stories, they call this the Rainbow Bridge, and there are many other names for it. It is the place where it's the thresholds, the various thresholds that exist on the inner planes. And all those thresholds, the thresholds, for instance, between realms, between species, the threshold between your body, your relationship, and someone else, their body, that's a threshold. The thresholds of waking and sleeping, the threshold of dawn and day, or dusk and night, all these thresholds are key points of potential breakthrough. Of breaking through, where things from the unconscious emerge in the conscious, and then things from the superconscious emerge in the conscious. And sometimes, when the journey is fully complete, things from the superconscious and the unconscious, which are the two furthest apart, also come together in the conscious, and we experience a real deep symphony inside our being, perhaps an epiphany, perhaps a revelation, perhaps a huge breakthrough, where we suddenly see the quantum web for what it is. We see the dream arc all around us. We're like, wow, I'm woven into this story, this creation that is just so bigger than me, than this. And it's a theater. It's a theater. That's why I'm here in my theatricals, because to do the theatre well, that's the point of being here, to play your role. Today I'm the ancestor, I'm the shaman, I'm the dreamer, I'm the weaver of stories, of worlds, and I'm the pilgrim as well. I'm the traveller, the humble guy, who doesn't understand any of it. So we can be all of those things, both the sage and the novice, and we will get to play all those roles in this journey and in all our journeys, in all our lives, in all these strands that we're weaving together here. So when we open the Dream Arc Bridge, what we're doing is we are increasing the energetic pressure through those thresholds between the realms. And so the bridge is not just one thing, the bridge is many bridges. It's all bridges. So when we increase that pressure through the power of our contemplation, through the power of focusing our imagination, through deep trust of our intuition in everyday life, really listening, really regularly coming into the center of the web, of the weave, of the arc, then that's when things happen. That's when we have glimpses. That's when the backdrop of consciousness shows itself. That's when she begins to talk to us within us, and she begins to help us understand the wider context of our lives, of our relationships, of our health in our body, of the timing of the seasons of our lives, of the timing of our birth, of the timing of our death, of the timing of everything, the seasons, the ebb and flow of creation herself, and how deeply that is imprinted inside the DNA of our body, the actual fabric of our being. And you'll notice, in this dream arc that, it corresponds very profoundly to our DNA. Its patterning is synchronized to our DNA. 64 creatures, 64 underworlds, 64 birds, 64 mammals. We have 64 codons in our DNA. So we have this, it's a journey deep inside all creation, because we are a map of the cosmos, and all these creatures are an aspect of that map. They are also, that's what codexes are. And that's why the ancients created codexes. That's why the ancients paid great attention to animals that appeared in the landscape, both through the stones, the rocks, shapes in the wind, in the clouds. We sometimes think of these things as kind of superstition or childish thinking. You know, it's magical thinking. To see that turtle here behind me crawling up out of the water, you know, this is a place of power where I'm sitting. I didn't know I was coming here this morning. I had no idea. I was just followed my intuition. And then I came up here. It took me some time, by the way, to find this place. You know, yesterday I tried to do this recording somewhere else and it didn't work and it was a disaster. So I just let it go. And I came this morning to a completely different place. I followed my intuition. I set up the camera already somewhere else. And then I just thought, this is not the right place. And then I came here and I found her and I'd never seen her before. But you know, so that's following one's intuition. So I want to encourage you to really do that in this program and, you know, open up this bridge, you know, and in this first ritual that you create, that we're going to create together, we're going to set the stage, you know, for this portal to open, the Dream Arc portal. And it's going to increase the inspiration that's available to us and in us. There's nothing to fear, by the way. You know, there's no even need for protection because there's nothing outside us. You know, in these creatures, like all the underworld creatures, they represent our fears. They're inside us. They're in the dream arc. There's nothing outside the arc itself. You know, that's the thing to understand. We sometimes have this kind of idea that there are sort of entities or demons or things that might come and get us. It's not true. They're all part of us. Everything is part of us. There's nothing outside and there's nothing inside. There's just the weave and the web and the weft and the journey. So we get to incorporate all strands and all experiences and all feelings that come towards us. You know, so if you have a nightmare, we get to integrate the true meaning of that nightmare. And instead of it being something that seems terrible or terrifying, actually it can be a gift, a great gift, because the message in that experience can be incredibly powerful. You know, it can create a breakthrough inside you. Your relationship to it is what will change, and that will change it, and that will change the pattern